Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. I'm just checking very quickly to make sure that we're live. Awesome. It looks like we are live. I'm also going to do a quick test comment from my phone just to make sure that everything's working properly before we get started. Awesome. It's working. All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm going to wait a few seconds and let people hop on. I am having a vanilla cold brew coffee from Tamp and Grind. And if you comment with your go-to coffee order, or if you're just engaged throughout the webinar today, you'll have a chance to win a $15 coffee gift card to your favorite coffee shop. So y'all let me know what your favorite coffee order is. I usually do lattes, but today I did a cold brew because I wanted something just a little bit stronger. All right, I'm also just going to make sure that this is working properly. All right, perfect. So today we're going to give you the 101 on websites. So we're just going to make sure that your website is effectively equipped in order to make it work for you. But before we get started, I just wanted to quickly introduce myself. So my name is Mallory Drum. I'm a website project coordinator here at Ugly Mug Marketing. And Carol let us know that her favorite coffee is a caramel mocha. I think that's a great choice. Whenever I go to Starbucks, I like the iced caramel macchiato. So I like that. And thank you so much for joining, Carol. So like I said, I'm Mallory Drum. I'm a website project coordinator here at Ugly Mug Marketing. That's a picture of me and my little cousin at the beach a few years ago. We were actually at the hangout and I was there last weekend. So I should have updated the picture, but I liked the background in that one and it kind of goes with the slides in my presentation today. All right, so I already mentioned it once, but I'll mention it again. So I do want to give one of you a $15 coffee gift card, and I'm going to choose the winner at the very end. But just anybody who is engaging with me and comments, you're entered to win the $15 coffee gift card. And then we also have a special offer for you at the end of the webinar, and it is valued at $425. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that. All right, so first I have this quote: the power of a website comes from the people using it, not the people making it. So today we're going to go through 20 tips for your website. 10 of them are more functionality related and 10 of them are more content related. But this quote just shows that the power of the website comes from the people using it. So we really want to make sure that all of the websites we build and that your website effectively speaks to the customer. All right, and you like black coffee. I wish that I did. I've tried to like black coffee just to be a little more healthy, but I just can't seem to stomach it. I like milk and sugar in mine, and I like it to be pretty sweet. So I'm jealous that you like black coffee. All right, so first we're just going to start with 10 questions to ask yourself about your website. So whether you have a website or not, these are 10 questions that you can ask yourself if you're even just thinking about getting a website. These are just good tips to keep in mind. So the very first question is just, do you have a website? So like I just said, even if you don't have a website, you can still follow along because these are things that you can keep in mind one day when you decide to pull the trigger and get a website. And so if you do have a website, feel free to just open it up in another tab and follow along and you can kind of ask yourself these questions. All right. So, is your goal the focus of your site? This seems very simple, but I think that a lot of people seem to forget the goal of their website. I think usually whenever a website's newer, it's easier to focus on the goal, but through time, I feel that many business owners, companies tend to forget the goal of the website and they're not careful when adding content and altering the design of the website. So we want to make sure that the goal is the focus of your website. So do your visitors know what you want them to do? That is the goal of your website. So do you want people to call you? Do you want people to fill out applications? Do you want them to fill out your contact form? It should be very clear throughout your website, through the design and the content, what you want your visitors to do. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to bring in money. So if you want them to make a phone call to schedule an appointment, or if you're trying to find new employees and you want them to apply, your call to actions on your website should relate to that. And third, does the site capture leads? So even if you do a very good job at making the goal of your website clear, you need to make sure that your website is built to capture those leads. So if you want someone to apply, then you need to have an application on your website. If you want someone to contact you, it needs to be very easy to capture those leads. So a click to call button, the contact form. I have some examples on the next slide. So this subscribe and enjoy 10% off. You're giving your customers a deal, but you're also getting something that is valuable to you, which is their email address, so you can continue trying to sell to them in the future. And then second, I have an example of the contact form that we have on our website. And again, it should just be very clear on your website what you want them to do, and you want to have a way to capture leads once they get there. Because if you don't, then there's really no point of having a website if there's no way to turn them into customers. And another thing to keep in mind is that just because they don't become a customer right away doesn't mean that they won't eventually. So like with the subscribe and enjoy 10% off, the person that puts their email address in there might not make a purchase today, but once you have that email address, you can more easily market to them once you have that information. Number 4, is there a face above the fold? So the fold of your website is the area that shows up on someone's computer screen before they scroll. So just the entire area before you scroll, that's what we call above the fold. And you want to make sure that there is a face above the fold. So on the next screen, I have an example. So let's say that it's a construction business. The photo with people in it, the workers, is going to be much more effective than the photo of just equipment. And the photo of the equipment is really cool, don't get me wrong, and it could be used somewhere else on the website, but people like to know that you are real. So, for example, if you were trying to hire somebody, they would prefer, the people seeking a job would prefer to see other employees on the front of your website than they would to see what work you've done. Fifth, is there social proof? So social proof is that people trust others more than you. So we can try to sell to people all day long, but we really want to show that we've made clients and customers or even employees happy in the past. So the first example is from our website. So we have an overview of the company that we built the website for. We have the button to go directly to their website, and we also have a case study. So case studies are a great way to, sorry y'all, I'm flipping over my pages. It's a great way to show social proof. And then on the right-hand side, it's from the actual Kudos website, and it has the testimonials. So Like I said, these could be testimonials from your clients. If your main goal is to hire, then it could be testimonials from employees themselves. Other examples would be reviews. Good morning, Amy. If you're just joining us, then I had said it earlier, but you do have the opportunity to win a $15 coffee gift card to the coffee shop of your choice just by engaging with us. So that good morning comment enters you. And I also want to know, what is y'all's go-to coffee order? And I'm curious to know where everyone joining us is from. So drop where you're from in the comments, and that gives you an additional entrance into the coffee gift card. So again, social proof, we just want to show case studies, stories, testimonials, reviews, even photos of happy customers with your product. They work great. Carol's visiting us from Illinois. I've never been there before. We're here in Louisiana, but I would love to visit one day. All right, so the sixth thing that you want to ask yourself about your website is the design responsive? So have you ever been on a website before and you're on your phone? Sorry, I got distracted by the comment, but Amy's from Alexandria as well, and she likes a hot latte. What is your favorite coffee shop, Amy? I'm curious to know. I have a cold brew from Tamp and Grind right across the street, and it's really good. It's the first time I've had their cold brew. But what I was saying is that have to get back on track. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so your website design should be responsive. So if you've ever been on your phone looking for information and the website looks kind of like the one on the left here with the red X over it, you have to zoom in for information. Maybe you even have to scroll side to side. Like, it's just totally not mobile friendly. We want to make sure that your website is friendly for anyone. So no matter if they are joining from a desktop, a laptop, a smaller laptop, an iPad, a phone, any of the above, we want to make sure that your website is coded to respond to any screen size. And at the top there, you can see that mobile accounts for more than half of web traffic worldwide. And I think it's even more in just the US. So it accounts for more than half of web traffic worldwide. And I think it's 60-something% in the US. So it's very, very, very important that your website design is responsive. All right. And you also want to check to make sure that your website is secure. And so on the next slide, I have some examples of that. Because it's a little bit easier to show. So if you've ever been to a website and seen that lock at the top and it's HTTPS, that means that the website you're visiting is secure. And whenever you see the red HTTP with no S, that means that it's not secure. And so all you need to make your website secure is an SSL certificate, which can be purchased from really any hosting or domain provider. On the next slide, I have an even better example. So sometimes it's frustrating when you're looking up a website, you click on the link and then you get this. It won't let you go to the website if the SSL is not installed, and Google is only getting more and more strict about that. So it's very important that your SSL certificate is up to date. And you can purchase those annually, or I think the max you can purchase them at a time is for 2 years. But again, you want to make sure that users can get to your site and don't get that not secure warning. And number 8, is the website up to date? So this might sound kind of obvious, but you want to make sure that the design and the content on your website is updated regularly. So we want to make sure that the design doesn't look like it's from 2010. in 2022 because everything changes so quickly and it's easy to tell when something's out of date design-wise. And then for content, it's not very hard to tell either. So you want to make sure that you're keeping the content on your website up to date. And what I mean by content is photos, testimonials, the text on your website, even job openings. So if somebody's searching for a job, but they can see that all the jobs you've posted closed in 2020, that doesn't look very good and they're probably not going to apply. So again, we just want to make sure that the content and design on your website is updated. And if y'all have any questions at any time, please just comment them and I will get to them as soon as I can. And Amy, I think Tamp and Grind is a great choice. Number 9, is the website easy to navigate? So this kind of goes back to the other point that I made about responsiveness. So that's one thing that we want to make sure of is just that your website is responsive and responds to different screen sizes. But also you could have a very responsive design and the website can still be hard to navigate. So we want to make sure that we know what our customers are looking for when they come to your website. So that way we can make it very easy for them to get to that. So if the goal of your website is for people to call to make appointments, you don't want them to have to even scroll to the bottom to find that information. It should be at the very top. And then another thing is that I think a lot of people, especially businesses who have a lot of different sections or divisions, it's easy to make the website more complex than it needs to be. So we want to make the website super easy to navigate so your users can find the information that they want to. So that goes back to what I just said, but it should be easy for users to get the information they need. And then I included a picture of an airport because we always say that your website homepage should be like an airport terminal. So once they get to the homepage, it should be very clear where you want them to go next, and it should be easy for them to find what they're looking for. All right, and number 10, does it take a long time to make updates? This is a problem that a lot of people come to us with, but that anytime they want to make a content change or a simple coding change, that it just takes them a very long time to make those updates, whether it's a content change that they can make on the back end, or if it's a coding change that they have to go to their developer for. It seems like a lot of people have trouble making updates on their website, and that really shouldn't be the case. So that's one thing whenever you get a website with us that you don't have to worry about is the length of time that it takes to make updates. So we make our admin panels super easy for you to make updates on your own. All right, so next we're going to talk about 10 website content tips. So these will be tips specifically geared towards content and not the overall functionality. But before we jump in, I just want to remind you that if you engage with me throughout the webinar, you have a chance to win a $15 coffee gift card of your choice. I'll be picking that winner at the end. So you can tell me your go-to coffee order, where you're from, or just if you have any questions, just let me know. And Carol, I see that you said that y'all's website needs work. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out. And we also have a special offer for everyone attending at the end, and it has a value of $425. So stay tuned to find out what that is. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into the content tips. Let me get my papers. And I'm curious to know, are y'all do y'all prefer taking written notes or do y'all like to take notes on the computer? Because while obviously the presentation is virtual, I have it printed out and I have notes beside it. I love to write notes. I find that the information just soaks into my brain better and I just prefer to physically write it. So I'm curious to know what y'all prefer. All right, number one is to know your website goals. So we kind of already reviewed that in the first half, but I really wanted to reiterate it because the first one had more to do with the design. So you want the call to actions, the buttons on your website to direct people to do what you want them to do, but it's also something extremely important as you're writing content and adding photos and videos to your website. So you want to know your website goal. Let's see. Let me go to the next slide. So what is the goal of your website? So if you have a website currently, let me know what the goal of your website is. So a few ideas are maybe you want to get more calls. Maybe you want to attract new customers. Maybe you want people to make a purchase while they're on your website. There's tons of goals that you can have, but we want to make sure that we know what it is so we can properly, what's the word that I'm looking for? Properly sell to our customers. And I see that Carol, and I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Is it Irony? Let me know if you can how you pronounce your name. But I like to see that y'all are both old school like me. Y'all prefer writing notes. And I can also send y'all this slide deck at the end of the webinar as well. Irony, okay, I got it right. So awesome. Second, we want to make sure that we know our audience. So we need to know exactly who we're speaking to so we can sell to them. So a few things to note about your audience is their level of expertise. So not everyone coming to your website is going to have the same knowledge as you. So one example is, say that you have a law firm or something, and this could be for any industry. This is just an example that I thought of because I don't know much about the law firms or anything like that. So say that you have a law firm and you want more clients. Well, the people coming to you probably won't know that much either, or they would not be coming to you. So if you had a law firm website, maybe you would want to showcase the percentage of cases you've won or how many clients you have, different stuff like that, that speaks to people that might not know everything about your field. Second, you want to know what they want to know. So that kind of goes back to that example that I just gave about a law firm. But people that are visiting your website, if they're wanting a lawyer, they don't want to see updates on different like laws or anything. They want to know how you can help them. And third, their interest. You want to know what your audience is interested in learning in order to keep them engaged. All right, so once you know your audience, and another thing to note on the second point very quickly before we move forward is that you can have a primary and secondary audience. So a good example would be if you were selling a product but also needed new employees. You can have two audiences, but you want to make sure you know who's primary and who's secondary. So if you're selling a product, your customers are probably your primary audience, but secondary would be potential employees. And part of the special offer we have at the end includes a customer avatar. So it helps you kind of be a little bit more specific about who your audience is, because you can say that you want your audience is potential customers, but you want to know exactly what they look like, what they're interested in, and all of that good stuff. So again, that's part of the special offer at the end. So third, we want to persuade your audience to take the action that you want them to take through the content on your website. So I have a few examples. So we can persuade them through photos, stories, reviews and testimonials, and even just in the simple copy on your website. So we can persuade them to do what you want them to, or at least convince them a little bit. So people trust others more than you. We've kind of already talked about that. But how often, whenever you're shopping for a product, it matters what other people say. So when you go on Amazon to buy a product, you're not going to purchase that if it has terrible reviews. But whenever you see that this product's trusted by other people, it makes you want the product and it makes you want to be a part of that. So you can kind of think the same way when it comes to your website. You want to show off the good stories, photos, reviews, and testimonials because that leads to more trust in people who have not purchased from you before. And fourth, you want to write short and simple sentences. So the average American reads at a 7th to 9th grade level. Let me go to my notes. All right, so the average American reads at a 7th to 9th grade level, and you want the information on your website to be easy for them to digest. And while reading level isn't the only thing that matters, even for somebody who reads at a super high level, we live in a very fast-paced world, so people get intimidated by really long paragraphs of text. So you want to make your points clear, simple, and short and sweet. All right, so that number 5, make the text scannable. This kind of goes into what I was just saying, but like I said, people are intimidated by long pieces of copy. Because people don't want to take the time to dig for information, you want to make it very scannable so that way they can quickly find what they are looking for. And ways to do this is by using bulleted lists. So it's easier to read stuff in bullet points than it is having it all lined out. You want to include plenty of white space on your website. You can have subheaders, so having headings and subheadings to really separate the pages on your website helps a lot because it just makes it easier for them to find exactly what they need. And then just having stuff sectioned well. And that goes into having your content well organized on your website. All right, so number 6, avoid insider language. So we want to make sure that information is easy for people to understand quickly and effectively. So if you are a doctor, you probably don't want to put all kinds of medical terms or technology terms that only doctors would know if you're trying to get new patients. If you're trying to get new patients, you might want to show that you do have advanced technology, but not go into that insider language that only other doctors would know. And you would want to show your level of compassion and let's see. So make sure information is understandable for the non-specialist. So like I said earlier, with the law firm example, people who are coming to you for help don't know as much of the law firm lingo as you do. If you're a doctor, they're not clients, they're patients. Your patients are not going to know medical terms as well as you do. So you want to make sure not to intimidate people. A picture is worth 1,000 words is number 7. So don't underestimate the use of pictures, infographics, and videos on your website as 90% of information transmitted to the brain is visual, and visuals are processed 60,000 times faster in the brain than text. That's a lot faster. So again, visuals are processed 60,000 times faster in the brain than text. So really keep this in mind as you're adding content to your website. Videos are very effective, photos, and infographics. All right, and while we are on the subject of pictures, we want to make sure that we are using mostly real photos on our website. So sometimes it's really easy for us to just want to use stock photos all of the time that can be purchased on the internet, but real photos are much more effective. And on the next slide, I'll kind of explain why. So Shelton Energy Solutions is one of our clients, and the top 2 photos are photos from a photo shoot. I can't speak today. I think it's the cold brew. It's making me talk really fast. So Shelton Energy Solutions is one of our clients, and we did this photo shoot for them. And so the top two photos here are their photos. So you can see the truck says their name. The guy here, the worker, he has their logo embroidered on his chest in their colors. For any of their marketing, we could easily just use photos like the ones at the bottom, but you're not seeing their name. So there's no brand recognition there. And if you were applying for a job there, you would probably rather see the person in their uniform than just the stock photo of a worker that we don't even know who he is, you know? So real photos are much more effective on websites than stock. So try to keep that in mind. And stock photos aren't terrible by any means, but you do want to be sure to include real photos as well. And Amy said she is enjoying the ads we're doing for their store, which is Edwards Custom Jewelry in Alexandria. So y'all should go check them out. I believe, who are you working with here, Amy? Is it Abby or Tim? I can't quite remember, but I know they've been excited to be working with y'all as well. All right, number 9, showcase your culture. And Amy is working with Abby. Yes, I thought so. We always love working with our local clients, that's for sure. And I know that especially whenever it's like jewelry and something a little bit more girly, we really love doing that. Us girls do anyway. Number 9 is showcase your culture. So again, your photos, videos, and copy on your website should showcase your culture because your culture can attract the right employees and clients. So some good examples that show their culture would be Airbnb, especially their careers page. If you want to like write that down to go look at it later, it shows culture really well. Excuse me. And I think that websites that showcase culture, they include their core values, photos of their employees being happy or working collaboratively, even showing off your space really shows your culture. And even just showing what benefits you offer employees and stuff like that shows what matters to you. And again, people buy from people who value the same things that they do. And my last content tip for you today is to plan for updates. So like I was saying, sometimes people or customers, business owners, all of the above, they get a website and then don't update it as often as they should. So just creating a calendar, and this is really different for everyone, but you want to think of everything on your website that needs to be updated regularly. So for some people, that's job listing or postings. For some people, that's testimonials, the photos. If you're selling something, your products, or if you're like a realtor, you want to update your listings. You just want to make a list of everything that you need to update and then think about how often you want to update them. So for some people, you might have to make updates each day. For some people, you might not even have to make updates except for every quarter of the year. So you'll just want to think of everything on your website that could be updated and really plan out when you're going to update it, because our good rule of thumb here is if it's on your calendar, it's easier to make time for it. So if you just put an hour every other week on your calendar to make updates for your website, that's focused time that you can use for that. And again, it's very important that the content on your website stays up to date to attract clients. Does anybody have any questions for me right now? We're almost done. And again, thank y'all so much for joining me today. So I'm going to go ahead and move to the next slide, but if y'all have any questions, just leave them in the comments, or at the end, I'll have my email address if it's easier for that, or you can always just contact us by phone too. All right, the website toolkit, this is the special offer that you get today for joining, and it's valued at $425, and you get it for free. I'm going to drop a link in the comments right now. Let me get it very quickly. Okay, I might have posted it twice, but it doesn't matter as long as you click the link. So you can click that link below and you will get a PDF that includes 13 questions you need to know the answers to, 5 critical questions that every website must answer. You'll get the website customer avatar that you can fill out to really get a good idea of who your audience is. And then lastly, we added a bonus to this offer. You can sign up for a free website audit with us here at Ugly Mug Marketing. And that website audit, we'll just walk through your website with you, audit it, and see what we think needs to be done to it or what you could do better. So that will be about 30 minutes. But once you click that link, it'll just ask you to put your email address there. Then you can download the PDFs. And there's also a link within that link for you to schedule that website audit. And it's free for today only. So go ahead and take advantage of that opportunity while you can. And then let me see. Okay, I'm just going to look over here. The comments are this way, but I'm going to look over here and just scroll randomly and land on who gets the free coffee gift card. Amy Boone is who I landed on. So Amy Boone, you actually told me, so you like Tamp and Grind. So I can get you a Tamp and Grind gift card. I'll message you after this to get your address so we can mail that to you, or you're free to just stop by the office and pick it up. But again, I'll message you after this to see what you would prefer. So congratulations. You can what did you say you liked? It was mocha something, caramel mocha. So you can get you a caramel mocha. But again, y'all just click the link in the comments to get your website toolkit for free. And again, it's valued at $425. So you don't want to miss out on that. Yes, congratulations, Amy. All right, and lastly, if y'all have any questions for me, just let me know. You can post them here in the comments. Carol, Amy won. She won the coffee gift card, but you can click the link above to get your free website toolkit today only. If y'all have any other questions, just let me know. Here you can see my email. And then not my phone number, but our office's phone number is right below. So y'all can feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions that are website or marketing related. And thank y'all so much again for joining me today. Let's see, I had one other thing that I was going to say. The comments really distract me. I do know that. I'll be talking about something, and then when I see somebody comment, I immediately get distracted. So I need to work on that. But again, it was, y'all just let us know if you have any questions, and I'm about to go ahead and hop off. But if you want us to send the slides to you, just let me know in the comments and I can message you for your email to send the entire presentation to you so you can refer back to it as you need to. Thank you all so much for joining in. Y'all have a good Wednesday. Bye.